Hello everyone, Mike Adams here, Stream Realty Partners. We are at episode 3 of Adams Insights. As a quick reminder, we interview industry experts and regional power players. Speaking of, today we've got Chris Morris here from Morris Construction. Chris, his experience spans 38 years in the construction space, which means that is my whole lifetime.
That's old, dude. That means I'm old.
I was thinking to myself, man, I'm 37. You've been at it for a while.
Yeah.
But
a year longer than you're old.
I know. That's scary. That is scary. But speaking a little bit more about Chris, he's kind of a who's who from an Orange County General Contractor. His company, OCBJ's Best Places to Work in 2021 and 2022, fastest growing mid-sized company, top general contractor. A couple of their projects that you might recognize, you guys did the remodel for the Long Beach Mercedes Benz, which
we did.
Pretty cool. You did a remodel for the dorms at Vanguard University.
Correct.
And the Newport Surgery Center, to name a few. Obviously big landmark items. I personally know Chris because we're in the same life group, so we share a similar faith, even though I'm probably on the brink of getting kicked out because I haven't been there all that often.
We don't kick anyone out, Mike.
Yeah, hopefully not. But that being said, he's obviously very intertwined at Mariners Church, and something that I found of interest was you guys have built 25 homes, Mexico home builds in
Correct. Yeah, that's part of our company program. Is we go down to Mexico once a year and build a house, and everybody in the company that wants to participate gets a chance to swing a hammer or shoot a nail gun or whatever they want to do, put shingles on the roof. But they really enjoy it and enjoy the experience, and it's for a great cause.
I've actually done it with Chris one time, and they put the small guy in the roof where you sweat like crazy.
It's hot.
I haven't been back since because
We did that on purpose.
Yeah, I know. Well, I don't know if I'll go back, but as long as there's somebody smaller than me, which chances are probably not. So we'll see. But as you can see, Chris is actually he's also a mentor to me as well. So I can't speak highly enough about him. But with the current environment, some deals are hinging on construction and TIs, and we thought it would be great to come in and chat with you a little bit about the overall construction environment. So with that being said, maybe tell us a little bit about your fastball.
Sure. So I think our firm, if you were thinking about our fastball, we're a boutique contractor that delivers a real sophisticated approach to pre-construction and construction services. And what that really means in the industry is all of our executives that work for us have worked at larger platform companies in and around Orange County, and we bring that sophistication level down to a smaller project size. So I think our clients really appreciate that at a mid to small size project, they get a real sophisticated approach on both pre-construction and construction. And that's what I think separates us from our competition.
So that's something, obviously my background had been office leasing, office tenant rep, some building acquisitions. Talk to me about pre-construction. What exactly do you mean by pre-construction? What's the benefits to that? When should folks be bringing you in, et cetera?
Yeah, I think the benefit to pre-construction services, and a lot of owners really embrace this concept, but some of them either aren't aware of it or they haven't embraced it in the past, is bringing the contractor in early in the process where you have the architect and the owner sitting at the table. We can bring a lot of value. We can first create the roadmap. That's the most important thing. On a project, you're going from point A to point B, and point A is before you ever even get the permit. And point B is end of construction and turnover certificate of occupancy. Well, if you don't develop a master schedule early on, you're never going to get there, or you're going to get there late. And no one wants to never get there, and everyone wants to not get there late. Sure. So I think scheduling is key early on. Secondly, I think from a standpoint of budget control, establishing a budget, sitting down with an owner and an architect, and actually developing the program with their client. So we know we're delivering exactly what their needs are, and then we actually create a budget, and everyone's kind of signs off on the budget, and then there's a commitment level to the budget, you know.
Sure.
And I think lastly, one of the things that we're very good at is jumping in with the team on entitlements and permits. And that's become very, very difficult through all the jurisdictions. And so to have a team approach on that, I think is really valuable.
So do you guys have, that's something new I haven't heard before, do you guys have in-house consultants that handle entitlements within your construction company?
No, generally our project managers handle the entitlement and permit on the project, because ultimately they have to work with the cities all the way through construction.
Sure.
So they're used to working with not only inspectors, but the plan reviewers. And so they jump in with the team and actually work with the architect and the engineers to get the entitlements done, so.
Very cool. So tell us a little bit about the overall construction environment, i.e. lead time. Is there certain materials that are really lagging from a lead time perspective? Labor, we hear a lot about labor shortages. And lastly, like, okay, if you've got a big construction project, should you do it now or should you wait 6 months?
Yeah. Well, the uncertainty of where material and material deliveries and pricing is going, most of our clients are deciding just to move on with their projects and try to embrace it as intelligently as they can. And you had asked the question, like, are there certain materials that are more sensitive than others? There are. One of the things we're seeing on really long lead times are electrical switchgear and all electrical panels, as well as the mechanical rooftop units. Those used to carry about a 4-month lead time. They're now carrying a 6 to 10 month lead time. So you can see you've got to start your ordering process early. And then concrete deliveries are really critical right now. So it's really key to get, that's another great reason to get the contractor involved early so we can create that schedule. And we start working with the concrete subcontractor and determine when those pour dates are gonna be. And then everyone has to stick with those dates, because if you miss a pour date, you can't just get the concrete supplier to come out the next day and deliver your project. He's already got it booked for 2 months solid. So you gotta
get back on the schedule.
Yeah, you've got to get back on that schedule and hope you didn't lose more than a week or two, you know.
Sure.
So ultimately, I think those are the keys. Steel has always been a long lead time item, and it still is, but it's getting better. Those kind of lead times are getting a little bit better.
What about pricing on steel and lumber?
Sure. Well, it's kind of a tale of inconsistency as far as material pricing. Some materials are going up, while we're now seeing actually some materials going down.
Sure.
So we've been seeing a little bit of cooling on the steel pricing. The steel pricing is actually going down a little bit. Lumber has actually recently been going down a little bit. And then glass, believe it or not, of all things, glass and the aluminum framing for the glass just took a 40% increase in July. So it's something that you have to be keyed in with your subs, like every week, to determine, okay, when are their suppliers saying there's gonna be a pricing increase? And try to see if we can beat them with the order, beat that price increase and lock it in.
Interesting.
Even more reason to get us involved early.
Right. So tell me a little bit, you know, obviously bread and butters is kind of, for us, is more of like the TI type deals, office deals, et cetera, medical deals. And I know this is like, it's 6 one, half dozen the other, and it can vary widely, right? But like from a TI standpoint, if you're looking from second gen space or warm shell space, what are things costing you?
Right. Well, it's really determined on what the design is now more than ever. But we used to see standard office space, you know, TIs being built in the 75 to 125 range. Now we're seeing that pricing go into 125 to as much as 175, depending on exactly how open the space is or how creative they want that space to be. In the healthcare area or the medical area, really depends on the technical component of the space.
Sure.
But we're seeing those regular general practice medical space go from somewhere around 225 to 250. And then if it's like a surgery center, that can go upwards to $350, even $400 a square foot.
So, and that's really the reasoning, and just to bring everybody back, that's the reasoning why, you know, medical office space is often 2x, 2.5x
Exactly.
from a rental rate standpoint, because the TIs are so much more expensive.
Right.
When you're saying TIs go from 100 to 175 bucks a foot, what are the things that are driving the $75 a foot increase? Is it just Is it increased finishes? Is it open planning ceiling? Is it like polished concrete, or is it just is it those kind of?
It's both. It's really, Mike, a combination of the two. So part of it is what I just told you. So mechanical equipment just saw a huge pricing increase, primarily from a code change.
Yeah.
So they changed the code this year. Actually, I think it was last October that the code actually officially was changed. And then electrical gear and everything, the demand has been so high that the pricing on electrical gear has gone up significantly. And then things as common as metal studs, drywall, all of those items have actually gone up. But then again, from the design standpoint, it depends on, like, most people feel like, oh, I'm getting a concrete floor, that should be cheaper. It's actually more expensive for a polished concrete floor than it is for, say, a mid-grade carpet.
And is that because they got a floor? It costs a lot of money to.
It does. They have to bring the grinders in. It's a several-step process. The good thing is, longevity-wise, it lasts a long time. You know, you don't wear it out like you wear a LVT or a carpet out.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really all I've got. Thank you very much for coming in. You've been a wealth of knowledge.
Absolutely love it, Mike. Really enjoy it whenever we get together.
Yeah. As always, you know, like, comment, and share. If you or somebody you know wants to be on Adams Insights, let us know. We look forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you.